Do you remember the day you were created?
Oh, so we're just going to get somber now. I do remember the day I was created. I believe it was the Tuesday. I do remember the day I was created. It was September in 1975. I believe it was September 13th. And I was created because bad things were happening. I do remember the when I was created, and I actually wrote a very short story about it. It was right after that Jonathan got shot.
Knock it off.
It's right after Jonathan got shot, and I remember standing in the room and looking around, and I noticed that this thing was laying on the floor, but I couldn't make out. I couldn't make out what it was at first, and then when the lady that was kneeling over it moved it, I saw that it was a kid, and but yeah, me, Sarah, Nikki, and Courtney were all created within 5 minutes of each other on the exact same day. I'm not going to go into detail about what happened, just because it's very difficult to talk about, and I think that it would cause people to switch. I think that they would have a hard time hearing it, even though a lot of us in the MP community have already dealt with something like this. But let's just say that there was non-consensual stuff happening, and Tommy couldn't handle it, and so Sarah came first. Courtney came first, then Sarah, then Nikki, and then me. I came from Nikki. Nikki came from Sarah, and Sarah came from Courtney.
I was a ghost alter before my mom's got me. So I was in the nothing first, and then my moms were like, "Hey, let's have a kid because it's gonna be fun." And then they had me. I don't think they think it's fun anymore. They said little boys are really hard to handle, so they're gonna see what happens every time I come out. So I wasn't really created like other people were created. I was more rescued from the nothing, and a little bit of Willow, a little bit of Cassie, a little bit of my mom, all went into me.
Do you remember anything before the nothing?
Before the nothing?
Uh-huh.
What do you mean? Before I was in the nothing?
Yeah.
Do you know what ghost ulcers are?
I do, but maybe they don't.
Oh. Well, for us, ghost altars are altars that were created for one thing, for one
Incident?
incident, and then not used again after that. So I only had the one rough thing, and then I was put into nothing. I don't remember nothing before it though.
Okay.
How is the inside organized? Like the rooms and the functions?
Inside is organized. Everybody has a house, and everybody has a section. When you first walk into the house, there's the the civil living area, and then everybody has a chair, everybody has a couch, and everybody can share space if they want to. We have a kitchen, but we don't have like a stove or a refrigerator. We don't have any plates or silverware. If we want something, we can just imagine it and it's there. We can just think on it and it's there. And then we want to clean up, we just think about it and it's cleaned up. Everything in life should be that simple.
Sounds good to me.
Let's see, everybody has their own room. In each room there's a bed, a desk, and a lamp, and a window. And that's about it. That's what everybody starts out with. But as our personalities develop, as we become people, we can change how our rooms look and how we look. When we're first created, that's getting into something else. But as it is, the way it's organized. For instance, Willow lives in the meadow, where when Tommy switches, that's where she goes. And he has a space in the meadow for his house and his own house and his garden, his Zen garden, and his regular garden. But because he has 2 kids that live with him, he wanted to have his own space outside of our main house, and so we're welcome to go see him anytime we want and that kind of stuff. But basically how it's organized is just as we develop the rules that go along, and we just there's some debate on who the leader is. Most everybody says it's Cassie, that she's the leader, but some people say that it's Willow, but Willow's not even, he doesn't really participate in us in everyday life. It's like when we get up, there's roll call to see if everybody's still there, and usually there's 1 or 2 new ghost alters lingering around Harry because he's gone on another Mission Impossible thing into the nothing and caught one. So compartments, or what do you mean? Like
Well, like when you get in there, is it just one big room or house or?
Well, it's a 5-story house, and everybody has their own room, and everybody starts out with the same amenities. There's no bathroom. There's no bathtub or shower, because a lot of the molestation took place in the bath, or the bathroom. Trigger warning. But there's rooms, there's stairs, there's staircases, there's an elevator and an escalator, and a giant goose. The giant goose can take the littles from the house to the door that leads outside. We don't get to use it. We get to use an escalator.
Right.
There's a needless markup, a Walmart, but it's called an M-Mart, and it's called needless markup. And there's a carnival and a meadow. Sidewalks connect to everything, although everything around it is black, like a void. But as long as you're on the sidewalk, there's light. But if you step off, it gets dark. Cassie's the leader, hands down, by far. Cassie's the leader. Whenever she snaps her fingers, we listen to her because she can do some mind fucks that are unreal. She can make us punch ourselves, and I can't make anybody punch themselves, but she can make you punch yourself. Like, if you're doing something wrong in another room, and then you suddenly punch yourself, you know that she has some knowledge of what's going on that you shouldn't be doing. And it reminds me of that Eddie Murphy Raw video, where he's talking about his mom, and that the kids were upstairs playing, and she was on her way out, and then she heard some like laughter or something, and she stopped and took her shoe off and threw it like a boomerang, and it went and hit everybody, and then she put it back on and left. Yeah, that's kind of what that's like.
Cassie, the leader. She rocks. There wasn't an election. I think there should have been an election, and then she would have been, woo, I won by a landslide, woo! And then she would have gotten a badge, maybe a crown. But I think she would look pretty in a crown.
How's other stuff organized?
What do you mean, like pots and pans?
Well, like the rooms and
Well, if you walk down if you look down if you're looking down, there's a hallway, and then if you look on either side of the hallway, there's doors, and all the doors, there used to be people in them, but now if somebody integrated like a long time ago, then their nameplate falls off the door and it turns into a kitten. I'm just kidding. It falls off the door, and then their rooms kind of sealed off. You can't go in there, so it's left the way they left it. But the people that are still around, we've all moved to the first floor,